Remember when Adam Sandler had his acting redemption arc by starring in dramedies made by auteur filmmakers? Will Ferrell tried to do the same thing, but never really found his footing. Let's talk about his dramatic saving grace, Stranger Than Fiction. This was one of those movies my family got back when Netflix sent you DVDs. I think my mom just saw Will Ferrell and added it to the queue. The entire Emma Thompson storyline really depressed her, but 7-year-old me absolutely loved it. Stranger Than Fiction is a 2006 dramedy following Harold Crick, an IRS agent who wakes up one morning and hears a woman narrating his life. It starts with mundane statements like he brushed his teeth, he counted his steps, he reset the time on his watch, but after resetting his watch, the narrator states that this action will lead to his death. The film follows Harold through different stages of grief about this fact, from denying that the narrator exists to bargaining with his psychoanalyst about whether his life overall is a comedy or a tragedy. I like to think that Will Ferrell's failure to get into good dramatic roles means that he himself is living in a comedy, but maybe he thinks it's a tragedy. Spoilers ahead. Eventually, Harold finds out the narrator is a living fiction writer and contacts her. She lets him read an outline of the ending, aka his death, and he agrees to let the narrator write the book, thereby killing him. However, the narrator ultimately changes the ending so that instead of dying, he's just badly hurt while saving a kid from being hit by a bus. The narrator says that Harold's willingness to die meant that he was a person who should continue living. Although the direction isn't really anything to write home about, Mark Forster's other big films being World War Z and A Man Called Otto, the performances are incredible. From Will Ferrell's dry, optimistic IRS agent and Emma Thompson's nihilistic narcissist writer to Maggie Gyllenhaal's anarchist baker and Queen Latifah's practical assistant, everyone has an incredibly specific outlook on life that comes together in a beautiful way. The film ultimately shows us that no one needs to die for art, but, and thank God there's a but, because that would have been kind of a obvious message. But in order to have a good life, we must accept death as a fact and suffering as a risk. All told, this is a very solid movie. I wish that the romance between Will Ferrell and Maggie Gyllenhaal played more into the message. As is, it just kind of reads like having a girlfriend made his life worth living. But that being said, I still fall for the romance and the ending and the narratological BS. So I give it 4 out of 5 broken watches. Let me know what you thought of Stranger Than Fiction in the comments below.